Recently, I've been browsing the web for information on a Chinese PvZ animated series called Let the Peas Fly, which I spoke about in more detail in my last video. But whilst researching, I accidentally stumbled across a video featuring Crazy Dave with a shotgun. As any curious person would do, I clicked on the video and realized this video covered a knockoff Plants vs. Zombies game, which is still available today on the Google Play Store. And once I caught a glimpse of the gameplay,
疯狂大夫都加入战斗了，呵呵，你也想吃枪子儿吗？玩哦！
yeah, we're making a video on this. Wando Xiaoshou, or otherwise known as Peashooter in English, was uploaded to the Google Play Store only over a month ago at the time of recording this. Why did they call it Peashooter? I don't even know. The game was created by Domineering Game, great name by the way, and has only received roughly 100 downloads, which seems to be a trend amongst their other 5,000 games, and apparently the game genre is casual, which is, safe to say, debatable. Booting up the game, it immediately throws you into the world map, with every level being the same. Oh, never mind, they fixed it. Then this rodent begins talking to me in Chinese. I'm assuming you are the so-called Peashooter the game's title's been telling me about. Translating the first text box lets us understand that this green snotball lives here. Have you considered moving? He then tells us to go and beat up this zombie holding a basketball, I guess. And wow, this is familiar. Our cast of plants fills the bottom row of the screen, with us only having access to Snot Shooter and the Mexican pistachio. This grass tile begins to talk to us about placing our first plant, and in doing so, he then tells us to do it again on the same tile. I don't know what experience you have, Mr. Grass Tile, but I'm pretty sure that's not how the game works. Despite being confused, I followed his instruction and... Who are you? Okay, so something I've been hiding from you guys is that this isn't your typical plant, shoot, zombie, win game type of PvZ game. I mean, it kind of is, but in this game, having more than one of the same plant allows you to combine and evolve your plants to their next form. Yes, next form, not final form, because these guys can turn into a lot more than just Snot Shooter 2.0. Another thing about this game is that it takes a last stand form of gameplay from PvZ 1, where you're given a set amount of sun, having to carefully choose what to plant and upgrade before the zombie attack, as well as only having to defend one lane. Yet, this is the only path the zombies walk on for some reason. So I placed the Mexican pistachio on the front lines, and good god, what happened to you, imp? The level ends pretty quick with my evolved pile of mucus, and I received 3 stars! Wait a minute. I don't think that jingle belongs to you, Peashooter. The green dude then tells me we should go gamble, so I swiftly accepted his offer, and whilst praying I would hit the jackpot, I instead got a patch of mud. Before heading to the next level, I decided to visit the almanac, and oh my god, what happened to you all? It seems like someone got a bit hungry and ate half of melon pulse. Chomper looks a bit too happy to see me. Colonel Corn looks like he should be put away in an asylum, and Potato Mind looks like he's just had a lobotomy. Moving on to level 2, I realized I had 2 members of the mariachi band, and decided to evolve my Mexican pistachio. He looks like a chicken nugget with a mustache. I began the level and realized I placed my spikeweed away at the front, which I would later regret because, oh my goodness, chicken nugget man, I am so sorry. Entering level 3, I was stopped by, I am very sorry for insulting you earlier. So I happily accepted his helping hand, and holy Peashooter, look at him go. After beating the level, I was rewarded with a shotgun. Peashooter tells me that we've received a piece of equipment. I think I'd call it more than that. Clicking on this frying pan, we see... Oh, hell no. Oh, Dave. What happened to you, bud? So in this game, Crazy Dave is referred to as Bob, and can also shoot a shotgun. Giving Bob the shotgun, he says nothing. Just ominously staring in 2 different locations. We begin level 4 with another mega evolved plant, and it appears the chicken nugget has become a Viking. I decline his offer in helping me, which I probably should have said yes to because, oh my goodness. I don't think that belongs to you either. Retrying the level, I gave in and accepted his help, all for the cost of watching an ad.
Hi everyone, it's me.
Who are you? The level became a... Jesus! So, Bob in this game lets you shoot every so often, with any desired weapon you give him. I guess the plants weren't enough of a defense for him. As we approached the end of the level, I was feeling pretty good. All until this jelly bean riding a metal snake showed up. I guess level 5 was apparently a boss fight against Zomboss, with him being able to release fireballs the same way he did in the original game. But this one is cooler because he also has an electric ball. We beat him pretty easily, considering Bob had an actual gun, and once heading back to the world map, Peashooter told me to go gamble again. You're really not helping me cure my addiction. Opening this very obviously vase breaker inspired chest, we receive a water gun, which apparently does double the amount of damage his shotgun does. I then decide to gamble an incy-wincy bit more and legendary burning tree stuff. I'm in flow state now. Come on, let's go again. Oh my goodness. Legendary watermelon hand. I moved on to level 6 with my new cast of bootleg plants and... what the hell are you? With my 2 melons I somehow received, I went ahead and evolved legendary watermelon hand and he turned into... that's literally just melon pulse. I went ahead and planted everything else and my setup was looking pretty unstoppable. All thanks to Bob with his super soaker. Fast forwarding a little bit, level 7 offered me this corn shuttle station. The whole of the NBA showed up and started to overpower the team. But then I was told to watch an ad to receive an ice cream, and all of a sudden a blazing tornado set the Lakers back all the way to the beginning. Very poor performance, lads. Entering level 8, I noticed something I've missed in every other level so far. When placing a plant on the lawn, a few other plants begin to glow as if they were selected somehow. Originally, I just passed this off as a bug because, you know, the game is a knockoff and whatnot, but I decided to drag the Mexican pistachio towards my evolved Peashooter and holy shit, you can combine them. Wait a minute, hold on. You're telling me I could make brand new plants by just merging different plants together? Oh my god, this game actually got so cool. So as you would in this situation, I began to drag every plant on my screen to try and create the most cursed amalgamation I could think of, which is when I dragged this Peashooter towards my spikeweed and I just created cactus. I then dragged another spikeweed towards my other Mexican nut and dude, that's literally Endurian from PvZ 2. I was having way too much fun combining plants that I forgot I still have to beat the level. So I went ahead and destroyed everything with this unstoppable lineup, along with Bob's help. I moved on to level 9 and okay, this is just getting ridiculous now. I declined that blazing monstrosity as I thought I could probably make my own overpowered plant. If I take Peashooter and combine it with Torchwood, I'll get... oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't know what I thought would happen. I then combined Legendary Melon Hand, or whatever his name was, with Snopey and created Wintermelon Hand. Pulse. After making another Endurian, I realized I could add another spikeweed, so I did just that, and oh no, please turn back. Noticing Fire Pea could combine with Potato Mine, I combined the two, and that's just a guy. That's not even a Peashooter anymore. But anyway, with this crazy loadout, I went ahead and beat the level pretty easily, especially with Bomberman on the team, but there was the first 9 levels of Peashooter, I guess. We are back at the level select screen, with level 10 being next on my hit list. Entering the level, everything looks normal so far. So without much thought, I created Bomberman once again, which a commenter let me know that this guy is called Bazzy. Personally, I don't see the connection, but I then made the shiny Roomba and also dragged this electric reed towards my Peashooter and made Electric Pea. He looks so cool. It was a good decision to create this guy. I then threw the scraps in front of my powerful towers to create a form of defense against the upcoming horde, and I began the level. Come on team, we've got this. Why did you do that? Okay, so apparently in this game, Electric Snot Shooter is so strong that it just kills everything in front of it. Why is that a thing? What is this self-sabotage? Are you not a plant? Are these not your fellow plant friends? Are you secretly working for Zomboss, which helps to support my cannibalism theory? After my whining over whether the Froglight is secretly a zombie spy, the Jelly Bean returned in a vehicle out of Mario Kart. What you gonna do now, Electric Pea? If I can even call you that. You versus your own boss. How are you gonna... oh. Okay, he's probably on our side. And with that, we finally beat World 1. At this point, I was wondering what World 2 was gonna look like. Maybe the nighttime levels in the original game, or even the water levels like the pool, or the roof level. It's the same thing. So, unsurprisingly, Peashooter has the same background for every level in the game. I think. I haven't actually made it to World 3, but despite the lazy design, I pushed forward, entering World 2, Level 1. That's a mouthful. I stayed far away from Electric Pea before he decides to literally kill everything, but that didn't stop me from merging Lightning Reed with itself, making... That's a funny shaped plant. I then merged it again with a Spikeweed and created... Oh dear. I wouldn't want to sit on that. I then made the iconic Chicken Nugget Man in all of his glory, and merged him with Torchwood. This will probably make an Explodo Nut from PvZ 2, or some other Flaming Nut variant. Or an Elden Ring boss. Yeah, that makes sense. I made a couple more fusions and began the level, where I met these Sun Pharaoh guys. Why are you here? This really confused me since these guys in PvZ 2 would steal your sun, making it harder for you to afford placing your plants on the lawn. But in this format of the game, my plants are already here. You serve zero purpose. What's even more weird is that we aren't even in ancient Egypt. Like, where did you guys come from? Ancient Zomboss even showed up earlier. Like, what was the point of making this guy if the background ain't the same as the time mirror at the bomb? Anyway, this, windmill had the ability to push zombies back with its wind powers, which kinda doesn't make sense because you're supposed to be using the spikes I gave you to damage them, but all of a sudden, holy moly. Is that a street pole or a boxing bag? This brother's been hitting the weights. Despite his very masculine appearance, the gargantuas weren't necessarily too difficult to take down. However, these little shits are the worst zombies in the entire game. No, I am not making this up. These small pieces of blue tack are somehow the most difficult zombies to take down in Peashooter. One of the gargantuas throws his imp, forcing a 1v1 between the imp and Snot Shooter 2.0. Oh yeah, ignore this melon man, he just decides to pretend the imp is not there. But this should be an easy enough matchup. Just shoot him. Shoot him. Shoot the imp! You are the worst plant in the game. Good luck with them. New strat. Electro Pea, combining with another Peashooter, making... that. Stick him at the front, place the remainder plants behind, and let the electric gunman do all the work. Are you kidding me? Electricity pole, Melon Man, Nuts 1 and 2, Peashooter tag team with Torchwood. Let's go. What? Why are you not doing anything, Torchwood? Your one job is to set the peas on fire. Why are you just sitting there? Half of the team gets wiped out, as expected. And it's down to you, Peashooter. This is gonna go well. Please show me what you can possibly... Oh, so the imp riding a literal bull is not a problem, but this little guy by himself? Yeah, literally bulletproof. We beat the level, and for some reason, I immediately clicked on this button called Talent, which somehow suddenly told me I won the level again. So I collected my rewards, and I beat the level again. It turns out I found myself in an infinite rewards glitch. I don't know how I even did this. So I began to receive unlimited amounts of gold, but then I got bored and restarted the game. Before entering level 2, I went to go visit Bob, and... What are you planning to do with those shotguns, Bob? But now that I had a whole armory's worth of shotguns, I'm able to show you guys the synthesis section. Having 3 of the same item allows you to combine them to create the same gun. Yeah, there's no cool merging for the weapons, guys, settle down. But at a higher rarity, making it do more damage. So now with my cool upgraded shotgun, it still does less damage than the water gun. What does this thing shoot? Moving on to level 2, I figured with the amount of zombies approaching, Spikeweed could be a useful character. So making the shiny Roomba, I noticed Watermelon Hand could combine with it. So dragging over Watermelon Hand, what the fuck? I don't even know what to call that thing. Rock mustache chicken baller? Like what? So this plant launches basketballs at zombies before being eaten and turning into a KFC bucket. Yeah, we lost the game. But in times like this, when you're feeling down, there's always one way to pick me back up off my feet. And that's gambling.
How can I put it? I played this game for a few days. What I feel is cheap and simple and cool.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. If you play this game, you will feel cheap and simple and cool. After suffering through that ad, I unlocked ice beans. So heading back into level 2, I decided to see what we could combine now with ice beans on the team. Combining all 3 ice beans, we get... Oh. Hello. Yeah, so I decided to throw her in the bin. Combining ice beans with another ice beans and spikeweed, we create a bug. Yeah, let's just throw him away too. Wintermelon combined with ice beans creates nuclear ice cannon. So with my new beautiful lineup, including electric pole and rock face, we began the level and we was doing way better than before. All until these goddamn imps started to eat all of my plants again. The zombies powered through my whole defense, which left me with only one choice. watching an ad to activate the tornado. Yippee! I realized that if I wanted to keep going, I'm gonna need a stronger team. Can you guess what I decided to do? I love gambling! An iPhone 4 case and... oh my goodness, an iced out Cuban link chain? So yeah, I decided instead of unlocking a million plants, I should try to upgrade Bob a little bit, since I keep forgetting he's using a crappy shotgun in a hula skirt. I gave him all of his new clothes and phone case, and pushed him on to level 3. I thought I'd also give this blue fairy a chance and began the level. Oh hey Bob, what are you doing with your phone case? Okay, not a phone case. I guess with this battery-like weapon, Bob now causes electric damage, which to me doesn't make a difference because I am going to die. So after a couple tornadoes, I managed to barely survive, even with Dave and his new chain. So after going insane playing Pea Shooter for literal hours, I entered level 4 and... what? Is there a problem with the way I'm playing this game? Go ahead, sue me. Even with this insane lineup, these imps managed to start eating everything again. So after a couple tornadoes, I was down to the final few gargantuas. These guys are quite tanky though, so I may be in trouble. Game? I don't think I've beaten the level yet, but hey, I'm not complaining. I think I've watched more ads than actual gameplay at this point. But there was the next 5 levels of Peashooter, and if I'm being honest, this game is driving me insane. So anyway, we are stuck at level 5, world 2, someone help me! But before we jump into the next level, I get to collect my daily login rewards. Yeah, I realized I never showed you this section before. The rewards have never been too impressive to mention, but today I get 3 jigsaw pieces. Lucky me. If you weren't already aware, in this game, the higher the rarity of plant, the better quality puzzle pieces required to unlock that specific plant, which is seemingly very similar to PvZ 2's seed packet system, where you would have to buy zombie pinatas to unlock the more powerful plants. So claiming my rewards, I received yellow grass fragments. I would argue he's blue, but you do you, China. However, that didn't matter though, as the next puzzle piece gave me exploding potato steak, which now unlocked new combinations we haven't had previous access to. Well, without watching ads, of course. So finally entering the level, I now had a lot of plants at my disposal. With this in mind, I didn't hold back. I created Bomberman, Ice Fairy, and then noticed a potential new combination. Combining Lobotomy Mine with Lightning Reed, we get... aww, it's a little Pikachu mine, it's so cute! But we're not done, because I noticed that the mustache nut could combine with my Pikachu mine. So, dragging it over, we create... Bolkachu? What is that thing? But we weren't finished just yet, as I created my melon cannon as well as an Endurian for defense. However, once again, I noticed a potential new combination, but this time with our new Lobotomy mine we've unlocked. So dragging it over to the Endurian, it creates... what is that thing? I mean, if I had to guess, it looks like you're going to blow up my whole front porch. But to top it off, I created the spiky wind machine as well as a cactus for good measure. And I suppose this nut too. I ran out of stuff to combine. But look at this lineup. I mean, if this doesn't win the level, I don't know what will. The first wave of zombies did not hold back, releasing 2 gargantuas straight away. Anyone would have thought I'm playing one of those stupid mega mods with level 1,000,000 Peashooter versus crack gargantua, but surprisingly, our defense held strong, until, once again, the blue tack boys gracefully flew over everything going straight for Bazzy. But luckily, we have... nope, too late. I mean, at least our front defense is holding up. Oh dear. Pistachio, are you okay? We should still be fine. We've got our backup hand grenade to wipe the board and give us some time to... wait, where did the ice lady go? Retrying the level, I figured we just needed to reorder where the plants should go. So after a quick game of musical chairs, here's what I came up with. Melon defending the back, Yellow Strong Creepy Face second in order to beat the shit out of the flying imps, Ice Fairy, Bomberman, Cactus Windmill, Hand Grenade, Mexican Pistachio. I don't think anyone has said that sentence before. But anyway, I pressed start and we were doing way better than before. Zombies were dying, imps were flying and landing on my cactus. Excuse me? What happens to you getting thrown 50 yards down my lawn? Was it shot put day at the gym, Gargantua? Man, I'm dead. Why are you suddenly too weak to throw your child at this big buff man? To no one's surprise, Cactus dies, but for some reason turns back into spikeweed. Cool, I guess. But that didn't even matter because the rest of the plants wiped out the other zombies and we beat the level. Like 20 seconds early, but hey, I'm not complaining. Returning back to the level select, I noticed this duck thing was calling my attention. So clicking on it, we were told we've collected enough stars to unlock a legendary character piece. As in this game, the legendary characters only require 2 pieces to be unlocked. Likewise in Garden Warfare 2 with their special characters. So claiming my reward, we were given a piece of chomper with only 1 piece remaining. and I don't want to even imagine what this thing can turn into. So moving on to level 6, I thought to myself, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I also thought I hope you curb stomp those imps, because I decided to put Mr. Strongman Niceface closer to the front in hopes of actually stopping the imps this time. So we began the level and watched this nut be brutally destroyed, and I waited for the gargantuas to come, just waiting to see how they react to my children. Just waiting to see how they react to their children being destroyed and no longer getting through my whole defense. What? Oh, I guess they weren't in this level? Typical. Regardless of my dreams being crushed, we were actually flying through these levels way faster than last time. In level 7, we once again used the same strat and was absolutely demolishing the zombies. And we even got to see the grenade perform its final attack. That was underwhelming. But once again, we reached the end of the level, and oh, it looks like the yellow strong guy is injured. I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine. He's a mega fusion after all. Jesus, is he throwing up? Why is it green? Dude, fight back. What are you doing? In level 8, I decided to use the same layout again, despite the yellow man's performance last time. And who would have guessed, the gargantuas returned. Well, let's see how you do against my yellow man. What? Hold on. Why did you throw him so much further this time? You struggled to throw him a few inches last time. Was that just a warm-up for you, Mr. Green Giant? Despite duping me with their imps, the Bomberman actually defended himself this time. So, well done for shooting, I guess. And just like that, we went on to level 9, one level away from the boss fight of this world, even though it looks the same as the last world. So once again, I created the unstoppable lineup and began the level, where I noticed we were recently going up against these Chinese New Year type zombies, which made me start to think what Zomboss will look like in the next boss fight. Maybe on like a parade balloon or stage, similar to PvZ2's Neon mixtape boss fight. However, in the midst of my daydreaming, I realized that we've already beaten the level. Hooray! But there it was, level 2-10. Boss fight time. So in I went. I gathered the troops just like last time, and oh wait, hold on a second. It appears I have an extra Peashooter all of a sudden, and Cactus can combine with it. Well, don't mind if I do. Holy Cactus, that's a lot of holes. But with the team now ready, I began the level. The swarm started off pretty heavy. Imps were thrown once again way too far. Windmill was wiped out. Off went the grenade, taking out no one. Yellowface started to get ganged up on. And it was only until now I realized he's not even doing anything. The zombies are literally piecing him up, and he's too busy flexing his muscles to fight back. So, to no one's surprise, he once again throws up and just dies. All of my troops began to get eaten alive. Bomberman was destroyed. Cactus devoured, leaving only Melon Gun and Ice Princess. And all of a sudden, in the middle of warfare, Zomboss arrived. In his Mario Kart machine again? Okay, ignoring you guys, I don't even care if you get eaten. Why are you back once again in the same vehicle as before? I literally destroyed you last time, and for some reason you decide that there's always a next time. Like, bro, you just rocked up in the same car like it'll make a difference. Oh look, I died. Are you happy now, Zomboss? Your army of zombies are stronger than you with your crappy car from Egypt. Retrying the level, I realized that this team was no longer going to help me make it to the end. So I called upon a new team to help me through this level. Noticing I was given access to 2 Torchwoods in the boss fight, I merged them together to create Ultimate Torchwood, which apparently doubles the damage of NEPs that pass through him, which led me to making Mega Evolved Peashooter to cause some serious damage. Following this up with some familiar faces, including the Spiky Roomba and Viking Chicken Nugget, I added one more member to the team, being Mega Evolved Potato Mine. So I began the level where our evolved Potato Mine blew up the first zombie, and that was it. But this time round, we were destroying the first few waves. Every zombie was going down, and it was time for round 2 against Zomboss. And all of a sudden, the Mega Evolved Potato Mine revived itself, causing a huge blast, greatly damaging Zomboss. The rest of the team continued to apply pressure, all until he went down, and oh, hold on, there's still one more dude there. There we go. And we finally beat World 2, with World 3 being next to take on. Level 1 of the world of the 3 is next. Not before my daily login reward, though. Yippee! Somehow we've actually managed to complete this whole week's worth of rewards, giving us the final prize of melon. 8 melons to be exact. But at least we can now upgrade Melon Pult to level 3. That way I won't be underpowered. Entering the first level, wait, whoa, they actually changed what this world looks like. It seems like we're now in some nighttime levels of the game. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I wanted to switch up my strategy a little bit. A whole new line of defense. And by that, I mean copying what my viewers did. A couple of you mentioned that Electro P is actually surprisingly good, despite when I last used him, he decided to just kill everything. But by translating this text, his description tells me that he actually gets stronger for every plant he kills. Why? This doesn't make his case any better. Jesus. This makes Froglight seem even more like he's a zombie spy. Regardless, I built a setup around Frog Gun, including this greasy McDonald's pea shooter, as well as these three dudes. Check me out. This guy kills people and becomes powerful. Lobotomy Mine dies, but then respawns in an hour or so. Froglight then gon' kill him again and again. He'll keep on going till he devour them all. This meta actually works really well, with the windmill holding back the horde, whilst Electro P slowly powers up after carelessly massacring his potato pals. But this strategy managed to get us all the way to the end, and we beat the level. In level 2, I tried the same thing, but then the zombies ate everything and the game crashed. So I instead went for the ultimate P, ultimate tree, Jinx from Arcane. Wait, hold the phone. When did you get here? Why are you here? So Jinx, who seemingly fell into a slushy machine, has this rocket gun thing, but seemingly counts towards Torchwood's double damage ability. This seems broken. Also, I can't remember when, but Bob now has hot sauce, and if you decide to play this game, make sure your volume is turned down, because it literally cut itself off. But the strategy worked and we moved on to level 3. I think you can tell that I began to go insane in this level, as I thought 2 windmills are better than 1. But apparently that wasn't enough for those goddamn imps. Despite having a whole wind farm, the zombies still came too close, so I had to pull out the super ice cream machine.
Bro, I'm doing an interview. Why are you always on your phone?
Oh, bro, my bad. I'm on talking to my girl right now.
Hey, I girlfriend.
This my baby for real.
What is happening? But after activating the super tornado, they told me I won the level early anyway. Why do you keep doing this, Peashooter? However, at this point in the game, I was getting really tired. What even is there left to do? I feel underpowered in every level. The imps seem to always kick my ass and destroy my whole lineup, unless I watch mind-numbing ads. And I don't even know what anything does in this game without Google Translate telling me that somehow Goku increases the chances of salmon glasses ice cream cone. What does that mean, Goku? So in my times of troubles, I once again returned to my comments, where apparently I somehow missed out on an update 3 weeks ago which included English translations. What? Should we tell him that there's an English version? Yes, you should tell me. I've been painstakingly translating every word in this game just to try and understand what's going on, all for the developer to make an English version out of the blue. Now, I'm not saying I'm the one who encouraged Domineering Game to make an English version. I also noticed that the game has over 1,000 more downloads since I first covered the game on YouTube. I'm just saying. But I installed the update, and immediately opening the game, oh my goodness. This feels wrong, to be honest. I now know what everything says. No longer will I struggle with translating everything myself. Finally understanding... Wait, what the hell does flare mean? Attack increase? Wait. What? No, wait a minute. Does this seriously mean every time I buy this fireball JPEG, I suddenly do more damage against all zombies? Are you seriously telling me all those ads I watched could have been avoided by just leveling up in this whole section of the game I ignored because I don't know how to read Chinese? After nearly losing my mind, realizing how much easier my life could have been, I randomly clicked on the plant section and spray peas? What? That's its real name? Thorn. Seriously? Sharp tooth flower? Sir, that is no flower. Anyway, entering level 4, my whole world changed. Every plant suddenly told me what abilities it had. Yeah, I know, these guys have actual abilities. Spray peas... Ugh, it just feels wrong calling him that. Spray peas buffs other shooter plants by 20%. Thorn causes zombies to take 100% damage every second. So what, they just insta-die? And watermelon cannon does nothing. He's just chill like that, I guess. So as I was making my first windmill, I mean Dragon Scroll Fan, I read what its abilities were, and oh boy, does he cause some chaos. Dragon Scroll Fan is unable to attack. Wait, hold on. That huge projectile ability he blasts out does 0 damage? Well, I mean, he must be able to do something else. Oh, look. Every 10 seconds, it emits a tornado to repel color equals hashtag 3D240. Okay, who made this translation? I then created, Zhang Jingpi, who now happily tells me what he does, but don't worry, I already figured it out earlier in the video. I then created Fat potatoes. Poor guy. Watermelon Katiushka? Ice Arrow Ash. Your name is Ash? And this is probably my favorite one. Nut Strong evolves into Nuts Are Extremely Strong, and then finally becomes Iron Armor is Extremely Strong. And with this team, everything is actually dying. Oh, here we go. But look, this is what stops me. You throw your imp, and it dies? Wait, and all the other gargantuas just instantly died, huh? Did I seriously just have to figure out what the flare tab did to make Peashooter like 1,000,000 times easier? Get rewards. I'm trying, man. Heading back to the world map, I decided to visit the store. And wait, cemetery? Why does Bob get his weapons from the cemetery? What do you know that we don't, Bob? Moving on to level 5, I went to make the Jinx combination. Or, I guess, compose? Yeah, that sucks. Combining high explosive potatoes with itself, as well as whatever snow pea is called in this game, we create explosive, I can't say the next word on YouTube. Then I went ahead and made snake hair peas. Unless China has some cool slang I'm not aware of, this plant features 0 snakes and 10 military grade Gatling turrets. I then made more things. I don't want to announce what everything is called in English, but I have to at least show you the King of Thunder. So the level began, and I'm not sure if this is a glitch, but it appears we now have a new zombie, being Invisible Zombie. This happened more than once whilst I was playing, so I seriously think this is an actual enemy, which in my opinion is just really lazy. I still think this is lazy. I retried the level making use of Fire God Peas, as well as, that's right, your guys' favorite combination, Bodybuilding Electric Mouse. I also brought along Giant Stone Strong Pea and absolutely destroyed this level. Honestly, ever since I converted this game to English, it suddenly became a lot easier to understand. Who would have thunk? Checking in with the Summer Gala, it seems we've collected enough stars to receive 2 rare character pieces. I got Thorn again. So heading over to the plant tab, I upgraded Thorn to increase his attack by 5. However, he apparently still has no life. What a loser. In level 6, we revisited an old friend, being Explosion Treasure. He doesn't even look like a pirate. Well, I want to anyway. At this point, I was just experimenting with all the combinations which never had a chance to shine before. So as we took down more invisible zombies, all of a sudden— what the fuck is that thing? I didn't realize it was Bring Your Kid to Work Day. Where did these air-humping imps come from? This is the most disturbing zombie in the entire game. Why is it moving like that? So these zombie head humpers act as a sequel or a part 2 to the zombies they are currently riding. They basically jump off their dad after they've been killed and continue their job of being squished under Electro Mouse's pecs. Another thing I noticed in this translated version is that the zombies are somehow dodging my attacks. Have they been doing this since the start? Just weaving all my blows? Why can they do that? Despite my complaining, we got all 3 stars and moved on to level 7, dropping 3 explosion potatoes on the front lines. And I allowed Zhang Jingman to power up, letting him wipe out everything. Like literally every zombie. This meta is too powerful. We aren't even dealing with the gargantuas anymore. They walk into the scene and are just instantly floored. The same thing went for level 8, level 9, and finally we made it to the last level of World 3. Before we enter the level though, I noticed I was rewarded a legendary character piece from the Summer Gala. Will we actually be able to bring Chomper into the final level? Of course not. Time for the boss fight, I guess. So we went on, and just like the last few levels, we wiped out everything with this insanely overpowered loadout. I mean, this just feels like cheating. But before making it to the end, I almost forgot we had to face Zomboss in his Mario Kart again. Are you kidding me? Regardless, this was going to be a challenging battle. Never mind. And just like that, we were finished with World 3. But don't go anywhere just yet. We're about to kick this jelly bean looking bean out of here. But as promised, we are going all out on this episode. We are going bombastic, elastic, fantastic. I have a duty to serve, which is unlocking eggplant and psycho corn. The only method in the game to achieve such a task is to spend my hard-earned gems on vases and pray I get the right plant. But I'm broke. So instead, we have to watch ads. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? There's a 1 in something chance of getting the right plant. I'm sure we'll just get it the first try. Wait, what do you mean advertisement successfully played? Give me my plant, Mr. Textbook. So apparently this king button requires 3 adverts in a row just to receive 1 legendary plant. Because of course that's how it works. So after watching 2 more god-awful adverts— you are dead! What is this even advertising? I finally unlocked Nope. I got melon again. And the option to get another golden plant has just decided to leave. Which is awesome. But I suppose I can now go for Mr. Corn Guy and— excuse me, miss. I think you've had too much Pepto-Bismol. This is not corn, man. So I repeated the process multiple times, ad after ad, and weirdly after opening one of these golden plants, I got melon again. Wait, what? So why do you exist? And this wasn't just a one-off, because in the very next one, I got melon again. And in the one after that, I also got torchwood. 3 legendaries in a row. And none of them were chomper. So this button literally has no reason to exist other than making me watch 3 times the amount of ads. It felt like the game actually knew I was trying to unlock these plants, as it felt like I unlocked everything other than the exact 2 plants I needed. But after watching 17 adverts, I finally unlocked corn kernel fragments. It doesn't feel as cool when it's already translated for me. And after attempting the king crate a couple more times, I ended up getting the eggplant in a regular crate, so those extra ads were fun. However, after giving Peashooter probably $300 worth of ads I sat through, we finally unlocked the whole roster of plants to combine, as well as being able to level up melon and firewood both to level 5. That's how many times Chomper paid someone else to show up. So with everyone unlocked, I entered the 4th final level of the 4th one, and without giving it any thoughts, I immediately combined Cornman with Fire Tree and created explosive rice grains. You do know you're made of corn, right? I don't see no rice on this Popstar corn. Popstar corn, like popcorn? Peashooter, please hire me to name your plants. But anyway, I noticed that melon could combine with Popstar, creating gigantic corn. What is this plant? No, seriously, I can't even read what it does. It's blocking half of the text box. If this thing isn't able to kill everything like Cob Cannon in PvZ 1, I will be severely disappointed. I thought it would be funny to make 3 of these guys, but I hesitated when I noticed Popstar could also combine with another Torchwood. So, dragging it over, we created Double Shot Rice Blast. And once again, Peashooter, there is no rice at all on Lil Uzi Kern. Null. Corn. But anyway, it appears his power is to have a small chance of knocking out the target. Alright, John Wick, settle down. I wasn't done yet though, as I decided to let Chomper transform into its ultimate form. And if this is its second form, I already know its final form is gonna be... Ew, what is that thing? Why is he letting his tongue hang like that? So, Licky Lee over here has the ability to swallow zombies whole. I think. This fat-ass corn is blocking half of the screen, so I'm just kind of guessing. But I followed these 3 up with some familiar faces, like Rockface, Windmill, and Ash, I guess, in which we began the level, with Gargantuas immediately spawning and throwing their imps as per usual. But luckily for me, I have these 2 dudes at the back to send the imps back where they came from. Hello? Do you guys want to do anything about the small child eating stones? As the horde drew closer, it was time for these 3 guys to showcase their abilities. Here we go, Chomper. Let them loose. Let's see what you... What is wrong with you? Despite Chomper being literally useless, Lil Cornyvert carried and we beat the level, which I doubt because there's still like 40 zombies on my lawn. I'll still get rewards though, don't mind me. Look at you, Bob, with your fancy shoes. Moving on to level 2, I seem to have forgotten the order to create huge-ass corn thing. So instead, I combined 2 corns together and then added torchwood, resulting in hand-cranked cannon. And apparently it's up to me to shoot him because he's lazy. I went ahead and also made a new Chomper combination. By combining Chomper with Spikeweed, we get... Oh, where'd he go? Did he die? It's okay though, because we can combine this pile of dirt with another Spikeweed to make a bigger pile of dirt. What is this, dude? I then combined Ice Pea with Chomper, making Ice Pea with a sticky note stuck to his face. But then combining this with El Corno, we created the King of Snow. Look how jolly and Christmassy he is. We brought back the Knockback Squad and started the battle. Emmett? Who's Emmett? Are you Emmett? Should I call you Emmett? Clicking on Emmett tells me that there's no zombies close enough to attack, which is funny coming from a talking cannon when there's a Gargantua literally on my lawn. Whilst I was worrying about Emmett just sitting there, all of a sudden this giant snake worm emerged from the ground ready to attack, but then he went back to bed. What is wrong with all these plants today? Eventually, the zombies came close enough for Emmett to attack, and by that I mean 3 imps were literally eating him. So in an attempt to quickly activate him, I clicked on Emmett as fast as I could, which only made him panic and start to twerk. Eventually, he fired his cannon, which seemingly stunned a couple of imps, but then told me he was cooling down. You shot once, how are you tired? Emmett then missed 2 more times. How useful you are. But then finally, after letting every zombie walk up to its face, he stunned the whole crowd, letting the rest of the team obliterate the horde. Despite only working half the time and also being called Emmett, the cannon managed to win us the level, and we got stuck in another infinite money glitch. Are you kidding me? Reopening the game, I decided to invest my hard-earned money that I earned myself definitely into the flare tab, where it just gives me free damage upgrades. What a fun system. We moved on to level 3, and I don't know what I did, but I accidentally found a glitch that caused Corn Man to start sliding up and down the screen like he was trapped in a game of Pong. But after getting bored, I remade Lil Veggie Vert, and instead of creating the King of Snow, I instead merged the post-it note Ice Pea with another chomper instead. I mean, 2 chompers with 1 ice plant? This surely has to make Yeti Chomper from Garden Warfare. It's such an obvious... Never mind. They gave the ice cube with paper tape to its face a hat. Maybe it was something I was doing wrong before, but I wanted to give the earthworm another chance in combat. So starting the match, we actually saw the ice lady do this weird magical fairy dust attack, which I suppose amazed the zombies as they stood there just taking what happened above them. Earthworm continued to just jump scare the zombies. Keep up the good work, I guess. You might just scare them enough they'll go home. And one thing that confuses me in this game is that the zombies decide to remind me every second that I'm terrible at this game by dodging my attacks. Seriously, how do I make them stop? It's literally every zombie dodging them. However, with this stalling setup we have, as well as Mr. Pop Goes the Weasel, we managed to pull through, rewarding us with the water gun. Oh, how I've missed you, water gun. That is stronger than a shotgun for some reason. So swapping out my hot sauce, we can see that it does an additional 0 damage. Whatever, I'll still take it. In level 4, I got curious and created Ultimate Cornman, which just turns him into a NASA space station, which reminded me of another tool plant we used all the way back in World 1, being Cactus. However, now with our new plants, we can combine Cactus with Chomper, making Master Immortal. Now this guy looks pretty cool. And after messing around with some other combinations, I noticed Torchwood could combine with Chomper, making Fire Dragon Teeth. And I kinda wish this was a playable class in Garden Warfare. Like the video if you think Prehistoric Chomper should be in Garden Warfare 3. Anyway, adding another Chomper to this red thing creates 5 Fire Dragon Teeth. God. And after adding some reinforcements, I actually ran out of sun. I forgot this even existed. I've literally never run out of sun until this point in the game. But fortunately, I know that this team is strong enough to survive without watching. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't resist. But despite my awesome, amazing team, the zombies overpowered me instantly and ate everything. Good thing I have these tips to help me go and become stronger. Like, arrange troops. And... So taking that advice into consideration, I brought back the King of Snow! The King of Snow! The King of Snow! And also remade Viking Nuts, or in English, Iron Armor is a... And we fired through the level like it was nothing. And the same went for level 5, but instead with Fireboy and Water Girl, and Ice Girl, and Chicken Baller. Funny enough, the head-humping imps returned riding their imaginary fathers. Level 6 saw the return of Elden Ring boss, otherwise referred to as Hell's Nut. Gross! I don't know what I did differently, but it seems like Hell's Nut suddenly is way stronger, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. Look at this Hell's Nut blast, wiping out everyone. Okay, I can't keep that in. But we ended the level with Hell's Nut fighting off the whole of the NFL, and we was rewarded with the American Starter Pack. After getting a bit impatient, I wanted to retry the EP strategy, having Electro P farm these potato mines and become like... mega ultra strong. And as predicted, we wiped the floor with these dumb, stupid imps, obliterating everything that dares step forth upon electricity people, rewarding us with some fire kicks, which then caused another infinite money glitch. Why does this keep happening? Okay, hear me out. Cannon being operated by another cannon. With the snowman being in charge of Emmett, it lets me lay back and just keep watch over Dave to make sure he's having a good time. That's it, Bob. Get them with your super soaker. Oh, you're so adorable. Another thing, whilst Electro P was charging up, this big-ass giant corn fired his, corn, and it actually landed on the lawn. I guess he slightly missed. But anyway, moving on to level 9, I couldn't help myself. It's a Christmas miracle! I don't know what I was thinking when putting all of these snowmen down, but it appeared to be working with all the zombies being stunned after every snowball. But not long after, I realized I put a literal burning tree of death in front of all their snowballs, which the zombies seemingly took advantage of and consumed my entire lawn. So let's just say I put together a different team. Yeah, I didn't last 10 seconds. So after a lot of experimenting and many failed attempts, I came up with this. Hey, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it. But we obviously beat the level with this terrorizing squad. The zombies never stood a chance, just being forced to walk into their brutal fate of being massacred. But we got this rad Hawaiian shirt, so it's okay now. And it's all come down to this. Level 410. the final level in the game. It's taken us a while to get to this point, and to be honest, I never thought we'd even get this far. So with that being said, let's take on the last level in Pea Shooter. Lol, look at my loadout. Hear me out, guys. What better way to take out the remaining zombies of this game than using literally the most overpowered plant in this game? So the first few waves went as you expected, and we killed the zombies, killing zombies, and we killed that one too. And despite how powered up this Peashooter is by the end of the level, Zomboss appeared, and he didn't die to his first shot. Wait, what? Surely he just missed him. I'm sure on the second shot he'll... Wait, he isn't dying. How much health does this guy have? Is this a troll? Like, can Zomboss not die? He's just spawning more enemies. How am I supposed to... Oh. I guess I overreacted a little bit. But with Zomboss defeated, we have finally completed Peashooter. We did it, guys. It's finally done, and it's all thanks to your guys' support. I can't thank you guys enough for all of the support you've given me over the course of this series. However, quickly before we end, top 3 Peashooter plant tier list moment. Number 3, Gatling gun Peashooter. I like his guns. Number 2, Sunflower. She ain't even in this game, but she a real one for real. And number 1, electric bodybuilding mouse. So all that's left to say now is thank you guys. Thank you for watching all of the videos. Thank you for being here since the start of this series. And stay tuned for what's coming next, as I have a feeling you're really going to want to see it. Oh wait, we've got enough gems for one more plant. Of course.